The 2016 election has proven to be one of the most unexpected and divided elections in recent history. But outside of the United States, there seems to be less of a divide over the two candidates and more of a surprise at the overall state of affairs in the United States. So we reached out around the world to find out, what exactly do non-Americans think of the 2016 election? Well, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are generally seen as controversial, but for a wide majority of the world, Trump is the center of their focus.
Some people were slightly concerned about their safety. They're like, oh, if Donald Trump wins, it's not going to end up well for Iran.
If I were an American citizen, I would definitely vote for abstentions. Neither Secretary Clinton's nor Mr. Trump's are trustworthy.
I think everyone has heard about this whole quote of, banning Muslims. I just thought that was just utterly, disgusting.
Trump's popularity has been a bit of a shock, so much so that for many, the frontrunner Clinton is at the back of their mind.
Some email thing which has gone on recently, but I don't think it grabs people's attention to want to talk about it enough. Any conversations that should be being had here is not a sort of I hate Hillary one. It's more of what on earth is Donald Trump getting up to.
Clinton has also been repeatedly compared to Margaret Thatcher, who was famously and widely disliked but considered a strong and decisive leader. Similar comparisons have been made in Germany as well, which currently has a center-right-leaning female leader. An election week poll found that 86% of Germans would sooner vote for Clinton compared to just 4% for Trump.
I would vote for the Democrats and therefore Hillary Clinton, even though I don't necessarily agree with her politics. In Germany, we used to vote for parties rather than people, so I guess the course of the entire party is more important to us than individuals.
Not been seen as groundbreaking outside of the US, where female leaders have become more common. Nonetheless, in more socially progressive countries like France, Clinton's appeal stands out, especially in light of Trump.
I think her program speaks to me because several of its core principles are close to what we get in France and what we are very attached to.
Those living in Mexico are no less willing to hide their disdain than Trump has been willing to make inflammatory comments about their.
One Mexican academic compared the fear of Latinos in the US to the fear of communism in the 1950s, predicting a brown panic brought on by Trump's rhetoric. As for Clinton, many in Mexico clearly prefer her to the alternative, with one law student telling the LA Times she's an intelligent woman and knows Mexico, and it appears that she supports immigration. But people from other countries, particularly in the Middle East, don't seem altogether excited about a Clinton presidency. A report in June by the Washington Post showed that Egyptians seem less concerned with who becomes president and expect the result to be roughly the same for them, negative. Not far away, Iranians similarly seem guarded, especially in light of the recent nuclear deal.
There was a sense of
Interestingly,
fear.
many
People were
Israelis
asking,
have shown
like,
support for
how
Trump,
does
although the
Donald Trump
common thread of
qualify?
anyone who's
How is that even possible? They're letting someone like that run for the election. He will definitely overwrite the deal.
Interestingly, many Israelis have shown support for Trump, although the common thread of anyone who supports Israel seems more important than the candidates themselves. Trump, as a Republican, is more likely to unconditionally support Israel, while there are some fears of Clinton continuing the US's allied but critical stance, despite her overall support. The biggest difference between the US and the rest of the world seems to be the level of shock surrounding Trump's success. One German academic wrote, "Trump's unstoppable rise is seen mostly as a symptom of a distinctly American disease. In no other democracy in the world, it is said, could voters be so openly motivated by greed, show so little concern for less privileged fellow citizens, and be so politically ignorant." Nonetheless, while Clinton is the preferred choice, she is not without criticism by the rest. Concern for less privileged fellow citizens.